Hey y'all, thank you for joining us. We are about to kick off Military Marriage Day in just a few, but before we do, go on over and grab your spouse. If you're maybe in a deployment, don't worry about it. This day is for you too. Grab a drink, a snack, maybe even some coffee, and we'll see you here in a bit. Welcome to our Military Marriage Day virtual celebration. This is the inaugural year of this holiday, and we are excited that you are joining us. I am Bree Carroll, the 2020 Armed Forces Insurance Air Force Spouse of the Year, mother of 3, and entrepreneur. One of the things that I value the most is my marriage. I'll be honest with you, growing up, I struggled with having healthy relationships and being confident in who I was. On my journey to self-improvement, I met the man of my dreams, my partner and best friend, and he encourages me to go after more. Together, we can take on anything, including this military life. Often, we see our servicemen and women honored for their bravery. Our spouses receive a much-deserved thank you for their support. Still, there's no acknowledgement for the power that the two collectively bring together through their marriage, which enhances our community and our force. That is, until now. That is why we are celebrating Military Marriage Day. To recognize you, our military couples who have committed to loving one another and to serving this nation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets a red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Wow, Maxine, what a beautiful rendition of the national anthem.
It really was beautiful. And Bree, if I can take just a moment to thank you for all of the hard work that you've put in to make National Military Marriage Day possible. This week has been amazing, but we now have a National Military Marriage Day every year. So we get to celebrate not only on our anniversaries and not just on Valentine's Day, but now we can celebrate every August just how hard we work to make our military marriages stronger.
Oh, I love that. August 14th, y'all, every August 14th. Yes. And this virtual event is really exciting because we have military marriage stories. We have special guest greetings. We have some music. We've got a lot going on, guys, so we don't want you to go away. And let's jump into it right now.
Hi, I'm Marla Bautista, co-founder of the Bautista Project Inc., a nonprofit organization that provides basic living essentials to homeless community members here in Tampa, Florida. I wanted to wish you all a happy Military Marriage Day. Today is an amazing day, a day to take a minute and reflect on the love and the support that you have within your marriage. I hope you all enjoy your day and remember to cherish those memories.
Glorious greetings. My name is Jay Pratt, and today I will be sharing a poem with you that I wrote for Military Marriage Day. I just separated from the Air Force myself this past January, and in about 10 months, my husband's final enlistment will also be up. We are currently stationed in Missouri, and I want to thank Bree for this opportunity. I'll go ahead and get started. The first portion of my short poem, it focuses on the 4 categories that Bree highlighted, and after that I just added a little piece of my own, so I hope you all enjoy it. Celebrate. I wish to honor you, my spouse, and us, our union. You are my partner, my friend. What I am able to give you does not sufficiently express my gratitude. So although it too often goes unsaid, I want to say it now, out loud. Thank you. Thank you for getting up each day and doing what you do for me. Thank you for enduring this military lifestyle. Thank you for doing what many cannot and most would not. Thank you for your selflessness and doing what is necessary for this marriage. I do not take you for granted, but instead appreciate your commitment and sacrifice. Connect. No one knows me like you do. You finish more than just my sentences, and you keep me warm in more ways than none. You fulfill my needs and bond with me despite some of my stubborn ways. My senses are heightened, hairs standing, goosebumps rising, and surroundings silenced when you gently kiss my neck or grab my hand, or when you simply remind me of my worth to you. No one knows me like you do. Grow. As individuals, we were very different and underdeveloped. But as one, we have developed and progressed day after day, improving our relationships with others and accomplishments within ourselves. We are encountering more ways and people to further enhance our relationship. We are growing and will continue to grow. Build. This is only the beginning. Our roots are planted, foundation grounded. May the watering and nourishing continue. Excitement showers me as I imagine what our future holds and what we will achieve together. There is no limit to what we can establish now that we have learned to optimize one another's potential and reveal our best selves. We are building and will continue to build. MMD, Military Marriage Day. Being in a military marriage typically means you're able to have meaningful roles and trainings even in your early years. Memories throughout the years that most people merely dream of one day making, dreams becoming a reality as you visit beautiful places you may have never even heard of. Your experiences often allow you to witness miracles around our nation and around the world. meet incredible people you would have otherwise never came across, determine what geographical areas best fit you for you and your family when it's all over. What comes with a military marriage is mind-blowing, memorable, and difficult. Being in a military marriage typically means missing celebrations and quality time with other family members. Many miles apart for many months at a time to accomplish missions you often misunderstand, distance within a home due to poorly conveyed depression, anxiety, and PTSD thanks to the recent geographical distance. Many couples are often miscommunicating and lashing out as both parties lead lives and roles new to them. Merely wanting to be back home with friends and loved ones, deciding which low-income and less-than-ideal job the dependent spouse will pursue thanks to another PCS move. This military marriage is not always easy. But with you, it's worth it. I wish to honor you, my spouse, and us, our union. Happy Military Marriage Day.
Thank you, Jay. That poem truly captures the essence of Military Marriage Day. We are celebrating our love. I hope this week's activities helped you connect better with one another, or it laid a great foundation for you to build upon. Whether we're celebrating virtually or in person, I hope each of our marriages grow and thrive through the years. We can only do this with support. That is why I am thrilled to have the support of our presenting sponsors, First Command.
Hello, I'm Kelly Richter, Chief Marketing and Client Experience Officer with First Command. I want to welcome you to the inaugural Military Marriage Day celebration. During today's virtual event, we want to celebrate the uniqueness of military marriages, and we'll provide you with the resources to help you strengthen your commitment. We are honored to sponsor Military Marriage Day, and we hope you enjoy today's event.
Hey everybody, it's Sam Wilcox, and it is such an honor to be here with you today to celebrate military marriages. I hope you enjoy these songs. I've been a walking heartache, I made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be, but you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm blows through. I need you. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. And for when I think I God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. Yeah. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. And for when I think I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. He gave me you. Oh. He gave me you. Yeah.
Well, I really hope that you guys enjoyed that song. As I'm sure you know, marriage can be very difficult sometimes, but it's also one of the greatest blessings that I've ever had in my life. My wife is my best friend, and so this next song, I'm going to dedicate it to her, because I hope that she knows that because she's in my life, I'm a better man today.
To see your face, to hear your voice, and all to touch you is a dream come true. So I'm standing here with my hand held out, knowing that your love will never fade. I stand amazed without a doubt. And I wanna hear your voice in the morning when I rise. I think I know I'm just a normal man, only made of sand, except when you're by my side. Will you love me, teach me, don't leave me, I pray. And I know I'm thinking about the times your hands in mine, together we'll stay. You made me better today than I was before war, and now my heart can rest, and I will search no more. You made me better today. You made me better today.
Once again, it has been an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. I hope that your marriages thrive, and I hope that you have a long, happy life together. God bless you.
Hi guys, I'm Lakeisha. I'm a serial entrepreneur and owner of She PR, where I help women-led companies and public figures in entertainment and politics accelerate through strategy and media.
Hello, I'm Deonte Cole, and I'm a retired Marine and realtor in the Tampa Bay area.
Yes, so happy Military Marriage Appreciation Day. We are excited to be a part of this inaugural event, and we can't wait to share some of our true life lessons learned of being married. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the defining moments that are pivotal into kind of who we are now.
Yeah, I think that, we started off pretty young. In some people's eyes, I think it wasn't young to me, but we started a family. You start off with one little one, and you're growing your family, and next thing you know, you got three. You know, so I think that's a big part of family and development and maturity, the maturation of a relationship in each other is to grow and have children and to be responsible for these amazing little people and their growth and development and take on that responsibility, which I love. So.
I agree. I think one of the pivotal moments for me is when we actually started to build businesses together, and how it really has strengthened our relationship. We spend a lot of time with each other, you guys. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses and sort of all of the complexities that go along with all of that. And we really know what makes each other tick, right? But what I absolutely love the most about working with him or building with him is that we get to problem solve together. We get to celebrate victories together. And we get to watch each other be the best versions of us together. And that's probably the most rewarding and the most pivotal part for me is when we started that business building component.
Yeah, and in business, you know, I know that I was a shark in the waters of the military world, so that was my lane. I was comfortable there, and my wife's a shark out there in that business world. So I appreciate what she's taught me in her development and growth, and you know, I'm on new legs, right? Trying to figure a lot of new things out, but she's helped me significantly move forward and progress in it, and I'm able to apply a lot of the skills and the mindset and resources I had from the military into these new ventures, which I think, since it's helping the team dynamic, I think it's rewarding for me as well.
So some of the lessons learned: we don't go to bed angry, or we make every effort not to go to bed angry. We're quick to apologize and to forgive each other. Just having that energy around just doesn't work for either one of us.
Yeah, I think, like she's saying, time is short. You know, when you with the person you love, you know you're gonna have disagreements. That's not abnormal for anybody. But you also have to understand that, you know, any day could be your last days, right? So if that's a truth, do you want your last time with that person to be in anger or distressed or upset? You wouldn't want that, even in your, you know, most stressful time or time where you feel uncomfortable. It's you know, to ensure that you go to sleep with love and that you leave the house still with love and you come home with love, right? So I think that helps us a lot by recognizing that that's something that's important to us and being committed to ensuring that we stay the course on that. So, sure.
I mean, we are each other's biggest hype man, right? So he is my biggest cheerleader, and I don't have to seek that from anywhere else. Now that he's retired, whenever I get too focused on the business, he's the one that's right next to me, pulling me back to make sure that I'm enjoying the process, and I make sure I squeeze in a little fun too.
Yeah, because, you know, like I said, life is from a person who's been out there and seen that you can get overly committed and so driven by the work environment that you can kind of overcommit, and it's for the right purpose. It's to gain and to make progress and things, but sometimes you got to sit back a little bit and be able to smell the roses, or at least pick some of the great vegetables you've grown, right? And so to enjoy it. So the only way you can enjoy it is you got to take a breather here and there. So
kudos to us. We celebrate this. We celebrate being happy and having a healthy relationship. Yeah. I mean, we actually like each other still. Yes. And we have a lot of fun together. Yeah. But I remember the best advice I think that I've ever received is, you know, when you think your marriage is safe, is when it's in the most danger spot. So, you know, we try to really work hard on the relationship building part of it, work hard on our communication skills with each other. Complacency is just not an option for us. We have 3 kids who look up to us, and it is our first and most important job before any business, that we raise good humans, right?
That's right.
That we teach them how to love, how to be loved. We teach them about self-worth, you know, how to set and respect healthy boundaries, how to be great friends and companions.
And it's work, just like everybody. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge we take on full steam, and we love it. And we know they're watching everything that we do, so we want them to have, you know, positive representation of what a relationship is supposed to be, and not something that's just rosy like you see in a fairy tale or a magazine, but something that's real, that's tangible. And when people have agreements, they love each other. When they have disagreements, they work through it. All those things, those skills that they need to be able to have healthy relationships for themselves in the future, are things that we hope to be modeling, that they can see and to learn from, and, you know, help with whatever they do in the future as well. So
absolutely. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. Have a happy Military Marriage Day. We hope our story has inspired you in any way, shape, or form. We hope to hear from some of you guys. You can find us on social media. Don't find him on social media because he's not up there much, but you can find me on social media.
If you reach out to me, I'll answer.
Yes. So take care, guys. Bye.
Take care.
Happy Military Marriage Day. Hi guys, my name is Tori Donato. I'm an active duty captain in the United States Air Force. I'm an intelligence officer, and I'm also a relationship coach at Times Potential Coaching, where I help people find the potential in every relationship. Man, and speaking of relationships, Military Marriage Day is so important to me because marriage is one of those really just precious relationships that we have in our lives. And had it not been for the military, I wouldn't be married. So I'm super excited to be able to take some time out of my day on August 14th and spend some time with my wife working on our marriage. So from my family to yours, I want to wish you guys a happy Military Marriage Day.
I'd like to share with you something that's very special in our marriage. We've carved out time for date nights, intentional moments to spend together. As a military couple, we don't always have that opportunity due to deployments, TDYs, and training exercises. COVID-19 has given us more time to spend together, an opportunity to be creative in the ways that we relate to one another. It's important to look at the glass half full and not half empty, y'all. I'd like to give a big shout out to Military Marriage Day presenting sponsor Armed Forces Insurance for their support and for making today possible.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant General Sid Clark, U.S. Air Force retired, and I'm joined here with my lovely wife, Rebecca.
Hey.
And we're going to talk to you today about Military Marriage Day. Bree Carroll, the Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year from the Air Force, asked us to do a short video, share with you our thoughts about military marriages, particularly ours. And this is a good time for us to do it because we have been married almost 35 years, and we're celebrating an anniversary next month. So we're excited about that, and we're excited about making this video. Rebecca and I talked about themes that we'd like to use for this video and something we could share with you. We'll keep it simple. We're going to talk to you about balance and balance in military marriages. So I'll let my wife, Rebecca, talk about that first. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Sure. So when we talk about balance, there's lots of things that you can say that make a military marriage or any marriage work. And to me, number one would be respect. There's been plenty of times that I didn't like him. Plenty of times I was really angry with him, wanted to pinch his head off, but there was never a time that I didn't respect him. But when we talk about balance, the balance part of that is that I always felt respected in return. And so the generosity that I always wanted to give him in our marriage was always a generosity that was returned to me. There was balance there. It was never just a one-way street. And so the more generous and kind I've always been with him, it was always returned tenfold in generosity to me, which encouraged me to be in turn generous again. So it's the same with respect. I always felt like he respected the sacrifices that I made on the behalf of our family, and I always respected what he was doing. And again, it was a balance. And then there's a balance just between our personalities and our independence. And when we first got married, I thought marriage meant you spent every single moment together. And he quickly based me of that opinion because he had his own hobbies and things that he wanted to do all the time. And so he gave me freedom to develop my own hobbies, and I grabbed it and ran with it. And so the balance is that we always have wanted and enjoyed spending time together. We've also really enjoyed having our own interest in spending time apart, and then bringing those interests and sharing them with each other and being interesting to ourselves and to each other in that way. And so that helped with deployments and all the separations that we endured, is that we each had our own interests that we could indulge while we were apart. One of the things that we want to leave you with, like what would be our best advice for your successful marriage, military marriage, and that is to always try to think of what the big picture is. You can get down into the weeds and fighting and arguing about things that are just so important in the moment. Who did the dishes or who cleaned up, or the kids are driving you crazy. And it's easy to get bogged down by all those little details, and it's hard to pull back out and look at the big picture. But we really encourage you to do that in a really quiet time and in a peaceful and calm time, and just really identify what it is that you want your marriage, what you want your family to look like, and talk about that and sort of come up with a mission statement, if you will, of what's important to you. And then in times of stress and in times of conflict, to take a pause and say, wait a second, does this serve our family mission statement? Does this do what it is that we want to do in the big picture? And if you can kind of get a handle on that, I think that'll really help. So at the end, we want to say,
Happy Military Marriage Day.
Happy Military Marriage Day.
I see you there. Don't go away yet. We've got some special guests coming up, and one of them might just be Major.
Hello, beautiful people. It's Major, Grammy-nominated singer and actor here, and I want to take this time to salute military couples. August 14th marks the start of a tradition that I think is well-deserved, celebrating military marriages. Happy Military Marriage Day. This new holiday celebrated on August the 14th recognizes and celebrates your commitment to one another and serving this nation. I'd love to give you a reminder of just how special love is with a song that has taken me all over the world. And without further ado, here's just a taste of it. This is why I love you. This is why I love you. Because you love me. You love me. I salute you and I salute your love. Here's to many more forevers. Now that's Major.
Our next guest is someone who wants to encourage you to move more near in vicinity to your loved one. I'm sure there's a much better way to say that, but I'll leave that up to her.
Hey y'all, it's Carly Pearce, and I just want to wish all of the military couples a very happy Military Marriage Day. You guys sacrifice so much for the sake of love, and I think that is so awesome. And I feel like my song, Closer, Closer, Closer to You, Closer to You, is very fitting. Enjoy, y'all.
Hi, we are the Goldens. Happy Military Marriage Day.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on today to wish you a happy Military Marriage Day.
Happy Military Marriage Day from Cindy Miley.
Aloha.
We are the Garcias, and we would like to wish you
a happy Military Marriage Day.
Aloha.
Happy Military Marriage Day from the Reeds.
Hi, we're the Castros, and we want to wish you
a happy Military Marriage Day.
Happy Military Marriage Day from Paulette Fryer, the 2020 Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Military Marriage Day. I am Maxine Reyes and I'm an Army captain retired. I'm also an active duty wife of over 20 years. I served with my husband as a dual military couple for 21 years. We were in the Air Force for 11 years and then we transferred over to the Army to become officers. We've had various experiences over the years and a lot of them have strengthened our marriage, and I'm just going to share a few of those stories with you. So let's talk about where it all began. I met my husband in the Air Force when I was in technical school at Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi, and we met while volunteering for Special Olympics. A few weeks after I met Ken, my husband is Ken, it was time for me to leave tech school, so we dated long distance and then got married a year later. 3 months after we got married, we were finally stationed together and started our military married life in California. The significance of teamwork in marriage is vital as a couple and as it is as being a service member. So this was evident in the beginning as we purchased our first car, our first home. We worked together on our educational goals, studying for promotion and career development, and years later transferring to the Army, then starting our family. So it has been very significant throughout those times as it comes to teamwork, and that's what I'll be focusing on during my talk with you or my introduction with you. We were at his duty station for only 3 weeks after we transferred from the Air Force to the Army, and when he had to deploy for 15 months. I was left at a new duty station to fend for myself Thankful for the family readiness group of which I continue to volunteer today. This has become a part of my life because I understand the importance of having local support when you're away from your family. And majority of us are always going to be stationed away from our families. So while my husband was deployed to the Middle East, I purchased our first home. Actually, it's not our first home, but our first home while we're in the Army, with a power of attorney signed by him. So we did a lot of coordinating via the phone, and when he would call home, the few times that he got to call home during that period of time. So otherwise, many of the decisions that affected us, I had to make on my own. And now that is teamwork. So during this time, I was preparing to go to officer training school while he was deployed. And we were both encouraging each other in our different yet similar situations. So when we were able to talk to each other, we did, and we spent a lot of time encouraging and supporting and just giving advice. It was a difficult time for both of us because I was concerned for his safety and the fact that I would miss his calls because I was in OCS and I couldn't respond. But I had to stay focused on my training. Another way we displayed teamwork was shortly after he returned from his deployment, I got pregnant. And we went through the prenatal classes together and were absolutely excited to be on this journey after spending 11 years married and 11 years serving the military. It was time for us to start our family. I gave birth to our daughter with his coaching, and 5 months later, I was told by my supervisor that I had to leave my daughter, who I was breastfeeding at the time. So she was about 4.5 months, nearly 5 months old. And the thought of leaving her was devastating to me. It shook me to the core because I never saw that coming. How could new moms not get some type of protection to be with their child for at least 8 months? So that was a good number of months that I thought, if I got to stay with her for 8 months, then I would be good because I would have weaned her from breastfeeding by then. Honestly, my main concern was how was she going to manage without her mommy breastfeeding her every day for every meal. I was able to pump enough milk, not for every meal, but enough for her to have breakfast and before she goes to sleep, because she was allergic to formula, and I had to pump milk for her to have at daycare. So I pumped as much as I could, and I had to leave for 3 weeks. Didn't get enough for the 3 weeks, but just enough for breakfast and I guess dinner before she goes to sleep. So I am thankful that my husband was home during that time, and he took care of her while I went away for work. So it's important to have, as a dual military couple, to be able to have the other half at home while one is away. And we didn't have to leave her with other people outside of our home, which we later on we did. I think at 11 months old we both had to deploy, and so we had to leave her with a family friend. And that's a part of being dual military. So you have to be ready to use your family care plan for other folks to take care of your children. So lesson 1, you have to be flexible, because once I got back from that TDY, a few weeks later, it was his turn to deploy. And so he went back to the Middle East. So in order for you not to get your feelings hurt, make sure that you stay flexible in this military married life, okay? Other lessons I've learned from being married to another service member is to take every separation as an opportunity to develop yourself. So this helps you as a person, but even more as a spouse. For those of you who have deployed spouses right now, take the time apart to go to school, achieve your fitness goals, gain some useful domestic skills, and become better parents of your kids if you have kids. So when I say become more useful with domestic skills, you can learn how to cook different types of meals so you can surprise your spouse when they come home with your new cooking skills. So don't just stay home and fret and be worried. Take action and that keeps you engaged and connected with your community. Another way that you can improve yourself is by the experiences that you have with communicating with your spouse verbally and written. That's a way to improve your personal communication skills. So just take note, see where you're going wrong, where you're weak in those areas, and strengthen those skills, because by the time your spouse go on their next deployment, you will become an expert in those areas, and you can use those skills to do blogging or some type of side gig, writing, freelancing or anything like that. So just keep that in mind, okay? It's all a learning process, and I'll talk about that at the end. Although there are some not so enjoyable points in our military marriage, we have many high points that we can definitely be grateful for. So our high points are the times that we were together and able to celebrate our wins in person. So whether it's attending each other's change of command ceremony or being able to attend our promotions or award ceremonies, we understood that it is important not to miss out on these monumental events if we're home. And we're always grateful when we can be present or could be present for each other. Other high times I can say is when it was time to start our family and having access to medical care and facilities during this time without any additional costs. So healthcare is important to us and the welfare of our daughter. So that is a topic that was definitely discussed frequently. In your marriage, you will have challenges. So do not be distracted or obstructed by them. Use them as stepping stones to improve your marriage and stay focused on what's going well. That was a few pages of our chapter of our dual military married life. I hope it inspired you, and I hope it gives you hope that your experiences are unique and that life is a process where you are married in the military or not, or whether you're married in the military or not, just appreciate the process. I wish you all the best, and remember to do all things with love, courage, grace, and gratitude. Take care, everyone.
We all know what it's like to wait. Waiting for orders, waiting for deployments to end, waiting to see our spouse again. Many of you know what it's like to long to be reunited. Sometimes, though, it's important to recall that same longing when our spouse is right next to us.
Hey, what's up, people? This is Pierre Bouvier, lead singer of the band Simple Plan, and this message is for all military couples who are so often torn apart by the duty of what you guys have to do for your country, which I appreciate so much. Thank you so much for your service. And I heard that it is Military Marriage Day on August 14th. So I want to celebrate you guys and try to give you something to lift your spirits and encourage you in doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for your service. Once again, we appreciate you so much. I'm so glad that I was reached out to do this message, because I think it's so important. And as a band, we've written so many songs that are about being apart. Just to name a few, we've got Jet Lag, which is about being in different time zones, which I'm sure you guys have to deal with. And a song that I love that I wrote for my wife about being on tour. It's called I Can Wait Forever, which I think really applies here. But I want you guys to know that I appreciate you guys, and have a happy Military Marriage Day. And here's a little song called I Can Wait Forever. It was requested for you guys. Let's try it. You look so beautiful today. When you're sitting there, it's hard for me to look away. So I try to find the words that I could say. I know distance doesn't matter, but you feel so far away, and I can't lie. Every time I leave, my heart turns gray, and I wanna come back home to see your face tonight. 'Cause I just can't take it another day without want you with me. It's like a blade that cuts right through me. But I can wait forever. When you call, my heart stops beating. When you're gone, it won't stop bleeding. But I can wait forever. There you go. Such a song. I feel like it's so fitting for military couples to sing about that. It was a song that even when I talk about the first verse, you look so beautiful today when you're sitting there. I was talking about when you're on FaceTime with someone and you're actually being so far away. So there you go for you guys, military couples. Happy Military Marriage Day. And one more that was requested as well, called Perfectly Perfect. Another love song from Simple Plan. Let's check it out. You might not think you're a supermodel, but you look like one to me. I'd rather have your picture on my phone than on the cover of a magazine. It's hard to think that a girl like you could have any insecurities. It's funny how all the things you would change are all things that are cute to me. And I know you don't believe me, and you think that I'm a fool, but I don't care. Maybe you'll never see in you what I see. The little things you do that make me go crazy. I'm not crazy. You're perfectly perfect. Someday you're gonna see you're beautiful this way, and that you're always gonna make me go crazy. I'm not crazy. You're perfectly perfect to me. You're perfectly perfect to me. Yeah, baby. You're perfectly perfect to me. There you go, military couples. Have a great Military Marriage Day. This is Pierre Bouvier signing off. Hope you enjoyed the performances, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Once again, thank you for your service.
Hello, my name is Nikki Klough. I am the owner and principal designer of Nikki Klough Design Group, a full-service interior design and project management firm. I have been married to Captain Arnett Klough III for 26 years now, and gosh, it has been a journey. We first met at the U.S. Naval Academy in 1990 when I was just 17 and he was 19. And gosh, it has been a whirlwind. We've had 4 sons, young adults now. They are ages 19 to 24. And we have moved and lived in 5 different cities over the course of our marriage. Of course, you can imagine there have been challenges. There have been lots of ups and downs. I think one of the most impactful challenges is time. I imagine that's the case for many married couples, but certainly for military couples, whether it's deployment or commitment to your role in the Navy, it is sometimes brutal. Sometimes very dark and lonely as a wife with as many children as I had, and his commitments being away from home so much. He's a surgeon, so I should mention that even when he wasn't deployed, he had really long and intense hours at work. So, a pivotal point in our marriage was when he was in a program during his training that started falling apart. Like the chairman left, different members of the medical team of neurosurgery left the program, and he found himself there with one other person. He had literally every other night call for months on end until he found a new position. That was so stressful and just just took us through the ringer, moving to a new city again, and the stress and even the emotional letdown of this program that we trusted, he was going to finish his training in, had fallen apart. So it was a lot to deal with. What we found, though, as we reached out to our community leaders, our elders at our church, and our different small group members was that they were there for us. We could rely on them. They prayed with us. They pitched in to help us sell our house. It did so much for us during that time when it felt like it was just this endless battery of, bad thing after bad thing. And so I really learned to reach out, to not be prideful, to ask for help, to know that people are rooting for us even when it didn't feel like it. And so I would say that is definitely a lesson learned, is to rely on your community, whether it was, our church family or a military family, whoever it is that you call your extended family or your chosen family, as I like to say, then really lean in and know that there are people that are willing to help you in your time of need. So that definitely has been something that I've learned through this whole journey, that this marriage thing is not done in isolation. It's done in community, as is child rearing, as in growing my business. I really am an advocate for reaching out and knowing that people are there to help and support you, because you're there to help and support others as well, right? So, gosh, it's been, an honor to be asked to participate in this. And I want to wish you a happy Military Marriage Day and much success in your own marriage.
Next up, you're going to hear from Taya Kyle. She's the executive director of the Taya and Chris Kyle Foundation, and she is passionate about military and first responder marriages. You might be familiar with Taya's story from American Sniper. Bradley Cooper played her husband, Chris Kyle, in that movie, and it changed marriages everywhere, especially military marriages, because it was the first time we got to see both sides. We got to see the soldier, but we also got to see what it was like at home. I think you're going to love the message that Taya has for you.
I am Taya Kyle, and I'm the executive director of what was the Chris Kyle Frog Foundation. It's now Taya and Chris Kyle Foundation, Service Family Strong. We're dedicated to helping military marriages, so I'm particularly honored and blessed to be a part of this video to wish you all a happy military marriage. And I know as part of this, I'm supposed to tell you where I am in my life. And like I said, I'm the executive director of a foundation. I'm also a mom and a woman who's constantly trying to be better, Christian, better with God, just, growing all the time. What I've been through and what brought me here today, the death of my husband, Chris, was the most impactful thing in my life other than having children. And, marrying Chris put me on a different journey, and his death changed me more than anything else ever has. And I think I'm a better person today than I was before because of the ways that I've grown. I would change it though, if I could, to have Chris back. So I appreciate it. I just wish that I, like most people, didn't have to go through the hellish parts to get to the better parts that I'm happier with. So I know also we're talking about some defining moments, and there are so many defining moments for me. I know that one of them was when I was at our old house in California. Chris was serving on the West Coast, and I had this moment where I thought, I'm so sad about where we are, and I still love him so much, and yet I don't know, can we do this? Can we stay married? And if so, how do we do this? I felt like I was trying really hard, and it sometimes felt like we were failing more than that the service life was extraordinarily taxing. And this defining moment was when I had this picture of where I wanted life to be in the future. And I had this vision in my head of, a Christmas tree, and Chris and I old on the couch, holding hands while our kids and grandkids played around the Christmas tree. And we had this moment on the couch where we looked at each other and just felt this, like, we made it, we did it. And I felt such happiness in that moment, in this vision. And I thought, that's the long game. That's the goal. And this part right now that is so hard, what I was going through then, I thought, we can do this, because this might be part of what getting to the end of the long game is. If it's, I don't know, football, chess, whatever, you train and you go through hard times, and you go through times where you feel like you're about to lose, the whole thing, but you keep your eye on the victory, on the goal. And so that's what I did then. And I continued to do that during difficult times in our marriage. I just thought, it's the long game. Keep your eye on the prize, right? When the days of the military are over and it's just the two of us again, like we were in the beginning, but richly seasoned and experienced and hopefully more in love because we've learned how to do it better. And I hope that you can take that with you. Just remember, there is a long game to marriage. I remember my mom telling me at one point that, if you're going to be married for 50 years, you're going to have ups and downs. You might have bad days, you might have bad months, and sometimes you might have bad years. And I think that anyone who's been married a long time will tell you that that is true. And anyone who's lived in a service marriage will tell you that is definitely true. And I think you get credit like dog years. So if you're in a service marriage, I think you get credit for 7 years for every 1 year you put in. And if I can do anything today for you, I would just encourage you to say, stay with it. You've got this. You're not alone. You're not failing. The military life is very hard and it has different challenges than civilians have. And there are places out there. I know Corie Weathers is doing great work, and I feel like we've got great programs at our foundation, Service Family Strong. We work with Baylor University, and we're not the only ones. There are other people out there who really care, and the conversation has changed in the country to let you know that we love you, we support you, you're not alone, you're not failing. It's a difficult life and you just need the right tools. And so I hope and pray that you'll get those tools, and I hope you keep the long game in mind.
We hope that tonight has been inspiring and encouraging. We want you to feel like you can celebrate your marriage and that you can write the next chapter of your marriage even better than your previous chapters. We believe that stories are powerful, and you're about to hear an amazing story of Krista Simpson Anderson. She's a wonderful friend who has experienced some very deep valleys in her marriage and in her life, but also rose above that and experiences great joy and love in her marriage with Gus. I think you're going to love her marriage story and the encouragement that she has for you.
Hi, my name is Krista Simpson Anderson, 2018 Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year and co-founder of The Unquiet Professional. My military marriage began December 20th, 2008 to Michael Harrison Simpson. From Germany to Fort Bragg to our home with 1st Special Forces Group at Joint Base Lewis McChord, we spent months apart, moved, had babies, and created a crazy, wonderful life. Our life wasn't much different than most military couples. We would spend 6 to 8 months apart each year. We learned to be intentional about communicating and attempting to maintain intimacy in our relationship. I learned that I didn't want to feel like strangers when he returned from trips anymore. So we wrote fiction stories about ourselves, each of us writing a chapter back and forth. We would read a certain book in the Bible together, or we would read the same fiction book together and talk about it. We learned how to communicate and feel vulnerable and uncomfortable together. The trust and love just grew more and more each trip away. There was a point that I started to feel bitter about caring for our sons by myself. And so I decided at that time to work on myself and see a therapist. And that drastically changed things. I saw the difference in our relationship right away. When I was comfortable with a sitter, we even started date nights and tried our hardest to not talk about our children the whole time. 2013 brought new adventures. January, Mike returned from a trip. February, Gabriel stopped nursing and I was devastated. And then Mike left for pre-mission training. When March came, we got to spend some much needed time away before his upcoming deployment. I was nervous to be away from my kids, so we chose Portland, Oregon instead of Mexico and spent 3 nights rather than 5. Just the two of us. I will cherish that time forever. Less than 30 days later, I received a call from our company commander informing me that Mike was injured in an IED attack in Afghanistan, returning from a mission with his team. 4 days later, we landed in Germany, and the doctors declared Mike brain dead. Today, Gabriel, our youngest son, he's 8 now, just recently asked me, "How sad were you when you found out Daddy would not live?" And my response to him was the saddest I've ever been in my whole entire life. We all have times in our lives that shatter us, and we aren't sure we will ever be the same. Don't try to be the same. Let your experiences, whatever they are, shape the beautiful person you are today. Embrace the love and anger in your marriages. And when times are tough, pray for a new day. How did I survive? God. I also had to learn to love myself again without Mike and to feel worthy of love. I had to learn to fall apart and not feel weak. I had to forgive and pray for those who took him away from us. I had to remind myself over and over again how much God loved me. I had to accept that love looks differently with everyone you love. Love doesn't come in categories like, I love all my friends this way, or I love my kids this way, or in my case, all of my husbands this way. Just because it doesn't feel the same doesn't mean it's not real. My husband now, Gus, and I got married in 2017. He was a member of Operational Detachment 1433, Mike's team. They were teammates and friends. And we have experienced many emotions over the years, and we have decided to shut down and not communicate. And those are the times when it gets dark. It's not easy loving someone that loves someone else too. Gus never makes me choose between the two of them. And clearly my relationship with Mike is different than it was before, like those days in Oregon. But I have intentionally realized that and have had to accept that. I have recognized that I need to be intentional about honoring Gus, especially since so much of my work is in memory of Mike. God has blessed me with two incredible men to love me beyond measure, and for me to do the same. He has blessed me with two amazing sons to lead by example, and I want to show them how God intends for Gus and I to serve each other as man and wife. Their lives and relationships will be different, thankfully, because we make a lot of mistakes. But I pray that they always see that we love each other, but that loving each other isn't always enough. We must act on that love. What I have learned and tried to incorporate in my marriage today, lots of things. Take time for each other. Take pictures with each other, not just your kids. Write notes, be silly, laugh at yourselves. Make each other feel special, even when you don't want to. Create things to do that only you two do together. Put each other first. Create unified front with your kids, even if you don't agree. Let them see you fight and make up. Remember, each day is a new day. Plan your funerals together. Ask why. Don't put your lives on hold during deployments or business trips, but never forget to let each other in and weigh on the important decisions. Be intentional about passing off control. Continue to find your best ways to communicate. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't ever let fear make you a prisoner. Listen, forgive. Always try to lead with grace and mercy. No matter how many years it's been, military life sometimes feels like 100. The conditions and obstacles most military couples endure make for a complicated relationship. I believe these complications can lead to stronger and more fulfilling marriages if fostered properly. There is no doubt that marriage takes a lot of work. I could venture to say military marriages and their unique circumstances take even more work. You must think outside the box and never compare your marriage to anyone else's. The blessings are we tend to appreciate the little things in life and don't sweat the small stuff. We learn quickly what's important, and that all holidays, maybe except for 4th of July, can be celebrated any day of the year. We can be loyal and dependable and are able to make decisions or plans at the last minute. OCD about certain things and relaxed about others. We get our alone time and can learn to appreciate each other on a different level as long as we stay intentional. Never forget why you fell in love. Always embrace your experiences in life and how that changes you as individuals and as a couple. Don't stop trying. Happy Military Marriage Day. God bless.
Hey, everyone, we hope that you enjoyed tonight's Military Marriage Day event. Thank you, Bree, for putting all of this together. It truly was incredible.
It really was amazing. And hey, listen, if you were inspired tonight to work on your marriage, to celebrate your marriage, I just want to encourage you to bring that into your life every day or every week. We now get to celebrate it every year, but don't let that stop you from working on your marriage tomorrow.
That is right. We are going to continue to build strong military marriages. Tonight would not have been possible without First Command and Armed Forces Insurance. So we're sending a big thank you once again to them. Everybody, have a great evening. Have a good night.
Good night.